the configuration of the accounts payable. So in that configuration of the accounts payable, we have seen. So these are the generic configuration what we wanted to what we have to do the configuration. So now apart from these steps, there are few additional configuration steps are available. Let me describe here. Now the next one is that after assigning that one, the next one is that define tolerance groups for vendors. The next one would be a create GL accounts, create GL accounts, then which is for expenses, which will be for recon account. Let's see that one. Now the next one would be a creation of vendor master data. Then the next one would be a document types for vendor postings. Then the next one would be a posting keys for vendor postings. Now, so let us see the one by one. Now these are the major configuration steps takes place for the accounts receivable. Apart from this, even though there are few business scenarios are there, so we will see them now. So the step one what we have discussed, let me come, creation of vendor groups. So now the step one, running notes here I have put it right. 1 second, let me do one thing for AP. So now I'm going to keep separate sheet for all the accounts payable related. So you can just go and you can refer this sheet. This sheet completely it will be dedicated for your accounts payable. Now number one is for create vendor groups. Please concentrate. Now creation of the vendor groups we have discussed about. We would like to discuss these are the groups. Now let me keep them here. So now what is the group which I want to create here? Let me go here. SPRO, financial accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, suppliers, master data, preparations, define account groups with screen layouts. This is the transaction code in order to create the vendor groups. Okay. So now let me create the vendor groups. Click on inventories. Account group, you can specify anything. Okay, let us see the 2001 100. Let's see. I'm not sure whether this group, if it is already exist, system doesn't allow us. 1001. Okay, 100,000 it is not there. 100 it is there. 12 it is there. Now let us create the group. 1000. Now the groups, first one would be service vendors. So now in place of whenever we are creating the master data which is related to one time, then we need to select this checkbox that I will explain in separate session. Come to the company code data. The moment when I want to when I'm creating my vendor master data, reconciliation account is a mandatory for that one. Without reconciliation account, I cannot create because I should not create any master data. Now the reconciliation account is a mandatory option I have updated. Sometimes the cash management group, this is not at all related to for us. For finance, this is cash and liquidity management related. Sometimes it will display even though it is optional, but even though system need that one. Okay, so that is the reason I'm just keeping
only display option.
now before. Yes, now you can see here You can observe in while creation of a vendor master data, which field is required, which field is a mandatory, which field is a optional. All that information here, the controls are here. Suppress means the field system does not show you. It will grade out that field. Even display also, it will display nothing, no values you can enter. Optional means either you can enter, do not enter that particular value, system will allow you to move forward. But required entry means that field is a mandatory. Without that one, we will not move forward. We must have to maintain that particular value in that respective field. Now, save this one. Now I have created one group. Let me create the one more group to service vendors, right? Now let me create the domestic raw material suppliers. Domestic raw material, because other parameters are the same. I'm just changing the name here. Enter. Oh, sorry, I need to change the name here. Let me change the name. Foreign vendors. Foreign vendors. Save this one. Come back. Now one-time vendor. One-time vendor. So for one-time vendor, we must have to select this checkbox. It is a mandatory one. 1003, which is already there. 1004. I'm just selecting this checkbox. Now you can see here, the moment when I select this checkbox, you can see skip address checkbox. This is enabled here. Until and unless if I deselect this one, you can see here, this address, it is not at all asking this one. You can see here, you can observe here, for one time vendor, this is grayed outed. The moment when I select this checkbox, this is automatically enabling here. You can see. Now just saving. I just saved here. Now come back. So now we have created 4 groups here. Okay. So now okay. So let me describe in the. Okay, let me remove this one because these 4 groups are enough. So the group what I have created, 1000, 1001, 1002, 1003. So these are the groups what I have created for all vendors. So now what I have done here, I'll do one thing. So we have created the vendor. Okay. So what we have done, this is the vendor groups I have created. Am I right? Now vendor groups are created. What is the next one? What is the next one? So now create number ranges for vendor accounts. So now number ranges. So now remember here about the number ranges. Remember, very important one. Number ranges for vendors. One number range can be assigned to multiple vendor groups, or we can create separate number ranges for each vendor group. See, one number range. If you have created one number range, the same number range you can also assign for all vendor groups. Or else, if there is a particular requirement, I mean, but most are the cases, the real-time environment, in real-time environment, we will follow this one. Okay, for both of out of these, in real time, we will follow this approach. We will follow this approach. Remember, okay. So in real-time environment, each vendor group has a different number range. Remember, okay. Real-time environment. These are all. It's a fundamental things. Okay. Now let me create number ranges. So is it clear for all?
Yes, sir.
Now up about the number ranges.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now go back. Define screen layout. Now create number ranges for vendor accounts. Intervals. We need to check here. The main thing is that all as we have discussed in the yesterday session, in S4 HANA, we have to be careful about the number ranges, because the reason being that always my vendor number ranges should be equal to my BP number ranges. All both BP number range as well as my vendor customer number range should be sync. Otherwise, it will create different number range. So that it will create a lot of problems. So that is the reason. Let us see what is the number which we can able to create. Let me open that BP also. I will explain. Once this will be completed, we will discuss in detail about the business partner concept. Cross application components, business partner. Bank SAP business partner here. Business partner relationship, external data distribution, master data synchronization, not this one. Master data synchronization. Now, customer vendor integration. Business partner, external organization, basic settings, and number ranges and grouping here. Let us check here. Define number ranges, define grouping and assign number ranges. Let me check here first. Which number is not yet used until now? We need to check that one. Okay. So now there is a number range. This number range is not yet used. 17, the number range. You just forget about this number range. This series, no one has been used here. You can see here it is a blank, because our intention is that we want to create the same number for BP. Okay, so here also something it is no one has been used here. This is also not yet used. Wherever 0 it is there, I'm just checking. Okay, let us go with this one. Okay, 666 it is there, 67 it is there, because 67999 it is there. But we need to map the same number range in here also. Let me check here. What is the number range? 66, right? 66 it is already there. 65. Let me try. 97 it is there. Let's see, 1A, 1B. 1A, 1B already used. 2A. Okay. Let me add 2A. Then the number range which I want to use here, let me copy this number range. I'll explain in detail, don't worry. First, let me create whether it is allowing or it will overlap. That is only my intention. 6, right? Oh, it is allowing, great. Now create. Okay. So now let me go to 2A. 2A, right? So this is the number range what I have created. Let me copy this one. Please concentrate. It's a very, very important one for you. So now the number range what I have created 2A. I have created the 2A number range. This is a from number. This is a to number range what I have given here. So the number ranges 2A, from and to range. From and to. Okay, so this is the range what we have used. Now here you can see here this now coming to this one. Either same number range, if you want to use the same number range, you can also use this like this. Same will be applicable here. Okay, so now you can also go with this, or else if you want, you can create again separate number ranges for each vendor group. It's optional for you. However you want, you can proceed. First of all, is it clear what I have explained here? How the number ranges to be extended?
Sir,
Yes.
ఫస్ట్ వెళ్ళి మనం బిజినెస్ పార్ట్నర్ లో ఏ నెంబర్ రేంజ్ అయితే యూస్ చేయలేదో ఆ
No, no,
నెంబర్
one second. Don't go to business partner until now. Okay, I will explain. I will come there. Okay, first you can just see here whatever you want. Okay, first you can understand the vendor, how I am creating the number ranges for vendor groups. I will come later about the business partner concept. We will go in detail about that one. Okay, first, is it clear up to now, up to vendor groups creation?
Here
Number
we have
range?
given, sir, here we have given the same number range. So we can give the different number range as well for
That
the
is what, ma'am.
different groups.
Exactly, ma'am. That is
Okay.
what I was trying to say. The first point number one, either you can map the same number range. Okay, ma'am.
So first one,
Then
so now it is
exactly,
understanding. Okay.
exactly, ma'am. Now the second one is that if you have a business, let me do one thing. Let me try to map the second one also, ma'am. 2A, right?
Okay.
To B. Yeah, I'll do one thing just for 2A. 2B, right? Let me go to 2B. Okay. Yes, this is also accepted successfully. Now, what I have created, let's say the 2B, right? 2B I have created. So now the 2B, what is my number range here? You can see, let me go to here.
67.
So here is the 2B, exactly. So the 2B. Now, yes, right? Am I right? So this is what I was trying to explain. So for these two groups, let me map the similar number range for these two groups. Let me map this number range. However, what I can do, but or else you can also go with the single number range, or I mean different number ranges, or one number range can be sufficient for all the groups. It's the optional for you. However you want, you can go. So for all of you, is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, ma'am. So now what I have done, I have created vendor groups, number ranges. These are the number ranges. Now in ECC perspective, up to here we are fine. You can see here, assign number ranges. The next one, I'm going to assign that number ranges to the groups. Let me assign the number ranges. Okay, XKN1, right? Let me go to here. Create number ranges, assign number ranges to the vendor account groups. The next one, assign number ranges. Assign number ranges to the vendor account groups. So what I'm trying to assign here. So this group, I am going to interlink to this group. This number range I am interlinking to this group. So that while creation of vendor master data, we are just selecting this group. This group already interlinked to the number range. This number range. So that system, it will generate the number range automatically. Again, one clarification I missed it here. You can see the number ranges are internal number range and external number range. Let's say, for example, here the number which is available here, let us assume the number. Okay, let's assume somebody has created, right? Okay, let's take that example. So here, okay, 990030. Okay, so this is the number, starting number for this number. So now already 99059 up to this, I mean, somebody has created the master data. So number range already used. The next available number is a 9999060. The next number will be, system will be derived and it will be consumed that number, the next available number. If you select this checkbox, system will not select that, will not determine the number from internally. We need to keep manually the number which you want to. Okay, so now you can see most of the cases it is internal only. Somebody has selected even external also. Okay, just for your information. Now come back.
This NR status means how many
GLs
number
we have
range we have
created up
already
to now.
This one,
isn't it?
ma'am, no, how many numbers, what is the number has been consumed, what are the numbers utilized? Okay. Yes, ma'am, number range utilization, ma'am, this one.
Utilization, okay, got
exactly it. A count, yes, exactly, ma'am. Come back. Now assign number ranges to the vendor account groups. Now 1001, right? I have created the group. So which number I have to assign here? You can see here. I'm just copying here because I know that one sequence. So that is the reason I'm just keeping here. So now you can see 2A, 2B, 2A, 2B. Let me save this one. So this is the concept what was there in ECC. Up to now, everybody is aware. So it was very easy process. Now coming to the S4 HANA. So in yesterday's explanation also, after assigning the number ranges, these are the additional steps in S4 HANA for vendors. So where CVI integration will come into picture, customer vendor integration will come into picture. Now, as I have explained in the yesterday's session, so creation of the BP. So now what I have done, I have created my number ranges. I have assigned this number ranges I have assigned to my vendor master data. So you can understand here. These number ranges. Yes.
Domestic 2, foreign 3, one-time vendor 4, sir. GL numbers. 1002, 1003, 1004. One is
okay,
vendor.
okay. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. One is missing. Okay. One is missing. I missed it here. Okay. This one is missed. That is the reason. Okay. I missed one. Okay. Sorry. This one is a 3. Okay. This one is a 4. Okay. Right. Now fine. So now what we need to do now, BP number ranges. So now this is a fine. Up to now it is fine. So now relationship you understood, right? These vendor groups are associated the number ranges. Am I right? The number ranges are internally assigned the numbers. So the moment when we are creating the vendor master data, in the selection screen we will give the groups only, in which group we want to create vendor master data, so that the system will understand that one, the number range is already being assigned, already this number range is internally tagged these numbers, so that the system will determine the number which sequence we have assigned. Now coming to the business partner concept. Business partner. So now, as I mentioned, so the business partner, it is not the new concept in SAP. Whoever worked, even in the long time back, even in ECC system also, for treasury and risk management, the concept we were using business partner concept only. in treasury. But now even the same concept has been extended to customers and vendors. So all there is no more XK01, FK01, XD01, FD01. No more transaction codes are available in S4 HANA system. Those transaction codes were absoluted. The only one transaction code, universal transaction code, which we are having for vendor and customer master data is that BP, business partner. Now, let me, as I have explained in yesterday's session also, see, while creation of the vendor, we need to keep in mind, okay, if the vendor should, okay, this explanation which I have already given. Now, let us discuss about the BP. Okay, so now business partner. Okay, so now each business partner, each BP can be created with multiple business roles. Business roles in the sense, one business partner we can create either customer, vendor, or it's a counterparty bank, like a credit management purpose, for collections management purpose, whatever we want, we can create that BP. Okay, whatever we want. Now, so here also in business partner also we have to follow these steps. Okay, now first let us create the BP groups. Now, the similar way, let me create the BP group. So now if I want to create the business partner groups here, the path here you can see, but I'll give the document, don't worry. Define grouping and assign number ranges. First, I need to define the, you can see, let me show you before going to that one, business partner roles. The standard SAP delivered roles, you can see here, BP roles. You can go here. You can see these 000, all zeros is a generic role. The general role of the business partner. Each and every business partner initially it should create with this role, with this generic role. This is the general role. Now coming to the, you can see here, yesterday we have seen, right, FLC, FLV. Okay, now you can see here FLCU 000, FLVN 0001, where the vendor is going to create under finance. Now you can see here supplier financial accounting. Now you can see somebody has copied this one. This is not the standard one. Somebody has copied and created. That's it. But now if I go inside of this one under this role, FLVN 00, under this role, you can see the roles of the category. You can see one business partner can perform this many roles. Either now you can see general data, customer, vendor, authority, vendor, bidder, plant, purchasing form, service form. So one business partner role, I mean the FLVN 000, it will act this many roles. Okay, you can see this many roles here. You can see around 220 roles. It is going to act the role categories. The vendor has been divided. FI vendor, we will consider, we need to treat, or we need to perform 220 roles. If you want, you can also add. Again, if you want to add still some other, let's say now still it should be there, FLVN, right? Let me category. You can see here, change business partner transaction. Okay, permitted. This whether it should be allow or not. But now up to here it is important for you because these are all standard SAP delivered things. No need to do anything here. From your side, nothing to do. Standard SAP delivered things, all these things along with SAP, it will come into picture. Is it clear first of all?
Yes, sir.
Define BP roles and grouping. This and all not required. Now define number ranges, define grouping. So as I mentioned in the yesterday session, but now this is a generic configuration. Let me come down here. Now during the implementation time, if let's assume your client is going, either it could be a greenfield implementation or it could be a normal implementation, whatever it may be. First, we need to, being as a FI consultant, we must have to check these are the things. Under master data synchronization, coming to the synchronous control, you can see synchronization objects here. You can see here. You can see these are the standard SAP 1 BP for synchronization, comparison, and master data loads. You can see here, during, if you want to bring any master data from legacy, 1 BP can be, this is a business partner, customer, vendor. So these are the external classes. This we must have to check, but this and all will come as part of standard SAP system. Come back. Activate synchronization objects. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you give me a scenario wherein we use business partner grouping?
The business partner grouping. One second. Here, right? Your business partner role grouping or business partner grouping you were talking about. Here, right? This is the
Role
one you were
grouping.
talking.
No, role grouping. BP role
Okay.
and BP role group.
1 second. Now, define BP roles and grouping. So now you can see here, let us see the FLVN00. Let's talk about this group. Now you can see here, the same vendor supplier, see this same supplier, this role is going to perform. Now you can see here, this role, I mean roles, I am grouping multiple roles I am keeping into one place. That is what, either if this same role which you want to perform as a vendor, sorry, as a customer also, you can come back and you can assign. So this is nothing but you are grouping the roles. Okay, multiple roles you are keeping in one place. Then you are allowing system, you are instructing to the system, the moment when I am selecting this group, under this you can consider this many roles are available. Just I am grouping multiple roles here. That's it, ma'am. Here.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, ma'am. No problem. So now come down here. I was just explaining about activate the synchronization objects. Without this, you can see here, this is a very important one. BP, my business partner is equal to customer, my business partner is equal to vendor, my customer is equal to business partner, my vendor is equal to business partner. How system should know all things to be in place, in one place, because one BP can have customer, can have vendor. How system should know? This is the reason behind that, the checkbox activation indicator. You can see, we are instructing to the system, one BP can be treated, the BP can be extended to the customer, the BP can be extended as a vendor, extended to the vendor role, or customer to the BP, vendor to the BP. This is the important one, very important one, the synchronization object, synchronization options. Without this, we cannot achieve that synchronization concept. This is the important one. We need to check all these things. Now, come back. Now, let me go to above. Okay, I'll come later the below. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I assume this synchronization is the default setting, right? We don't need to do anything, or do we
No
have
need to do. Yes, ma'am. No need
Okay.
to do anything. What I was explaining, as being as a FI consultant, we must have to check all these things as a pre
right.
system check, as a pre-validation activity. So we must have to check all these activities.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Yes. So now what I'm trying to do now, define number ranges. Okay, so now first let us define the number ranges here, because we have already seen the number range is 17 something, 17, not 17, 9 series, right? Even I don't remember. Somewhere we have, no one has used, right? These are the, okay, 66 and 67. Let us consider 66 and I'll put it here below. Number ranges for BP. Remember, define number ranges for BP. I'm not saying anything. Define number ranges for BP. Now once this number ranges will be finalized, either you can create, which one is first, because first number range, then you can go for the creation and assignment. Now come back. Now define grouping and assign number ranges. Now here I need to create the group straightforward. I can give the group. See, now I can see here. I can see the group. Let me go back. Let me check that group. 1001 already somebody has used. You can see 003. Okay. So what we can do? Okay, we'll do one thing. 100 A, B, C, D will use. 100 A, short name. Okay, service BP. Service BP. What is the number range which you want to assign here? 66 and 67, right? Let me key as a 66 here. Okay. So now indicator for the grouping, I mean grouping in external standard grouping, this does not require. Now let me come back. 100 B. Let me give service vendors, right? Here is a domestic BP. The same I'll give 67 100 C. Then foreign, I'll put it foreign, I'll put it RMBP, raw materials, domestic. Now 66 I'll give. Okay, for okay, I'll give 67 for this both. 100 D. Okay, 66 because it will follow the sequence. Otherwise, it will fact, right? Okay, foreign. It's a one time. Okay, for one time vendor, it's we can give only one. But let's see the only one time vendor. It has only one number. Okay, it will not have multiple number ranges. But we'll see this one. Okay, general vendor. I'll put it here is a general BP. Okay, let's sell because this we can use as a one time vendor. Let me use the 67 number range. Also you need to, okay, this does not require. Let me save this one. What I have done here, these are the groups I have created, right? Please concentrate. This is a very important one, this mapping. I have created these groups. I have assigned the same way, right? So now here what I have done, you can see here, create number ranges for grouping, assign number ranges, assign grouping with vendor groups, assign BP groups with vendors. Now what I have done here, you can see here, as I have done assignment here. But how system should know this number and the vendor number? What is the relationship between these two? Now what I have to do, I have to bring all these things here. I have to bring all these things here. Okay, the limited scope I'll bring, assignment and all. I'll remove that one. Number ranges, right? I'll copy to here. I'll bring here. Now what I'm trying to do here, internally I'm just linking. Internally I'm just mapping between my BP group with the C. This entire series already mapped. Now I'm just mapping straight forward to this one. This number I am mapping here, this to this. That's it. Because internally this number already mapped this number range. Under this number ranges, this number already internally associated. So now you can see here, you can closely monitor here. The very, very important thing here is that you can see here this number is same, this number is same, right? Am I right? First you can see this is the section. This is the section for my business partner. Right? This is the section for business partner. Now, this is the section for vendor. This is the section for vendor. Am I right? So now you can see what I am trying to instruct to the system here. The moment when I am creating the business partner, first what system should do? Let's say now first what I have to do in BP transaction code, in transaction code BP, first we have to create a BP now. So first what I am trying to do, let's say now sir, for service business partner, if I want to create first number, this is the number which I am creating. This is the number which I am creating, the first number. Am I right? This is the number is a BP number. BP. Now how can I create my vendor? How can I create my vendor number? Again, the moment when I'm creating the vendor, again the same number will get consumed, right? Am I right? This is the same number will be used. Same number will be used. But this BP role will be, all roles will be 000. This is the generic role. For this vendor, the role will be FLVN vendor 0000 something it is there. Now what we need to understand here while creation of the BP, this is the BP or it's a vendor number range. This is the role. So now you can understand here the roles are completely different, right? This role is a generic role. This is related to from how where this number is derived. This number is derived from here, from BP, from business partner configuration. This number is derived. For vendor, how this number is derived, from where this number is derived. This configuration we have done here. From this place, the vendor, I mean the system has derived the number range from this configuration. But only we are intermapping or interlinking between BP and vendor groups. With this configuration, system is generating the same number ranges. My BP is same, my vendor is same. Now let's go to the configuration. I have just mapped that number range. BP I have created, these number ranges I have mapped. But now where I need to map, where I need to interlink between vendor and customer, right? Let me come here. Customer vendor integration, synchronization master data, synchronization of master data, settings. Business partner. Yes, here business partner settings for vendor integration. Now define BP roles for the direct vendors. Here assign keys. Here you can see define number assignment for direct BP to vendor. This is the place where I am going to map. Click on inventories. This is the group for business partner group. What is the BP group which we are having? So now, what is the BP group? This is a group 100A, right? Just copy this one. Copy here. Group of the vendor. You can see this is the group which we have configured for vendor. So what is the vendor groups? These are the vendor groups. Copy, put it this one. You can see the same number range because both has the same number range. Always it should be the same number range. If you wanted to generate the same number, you can select this number range. You can see BP, BP, BP. Here you can see service vendors, domestic vendors, domestic vendors. Okay. So now you can also select this one. You can be, but system is not allowing because the number ranges of account to group. Here I must have to select as a external number range. Okay, let me do that one also. Why system is not allowing? PRO. Let me do one thing here. Financial accounting. Financial accounting. Accounts receivable account. Suppliers. Master data. Number ranges, right? Number ranges. Which number range we have defined here? 2A, 2B, right? 2A, 2B. 2A, 2B. If I select this one here, external number range 2A, 2B, right? Then system will allow over there. You can see here. See here, this is what how it is allowing by the system. Because that should be always selected as a external. Always this has to be selected as a external. Then only you can select the same number. Okay, so always the system will generate the equal same number. Okay, let me save this one. That is the logic behind that. How you need to activate this checkbox. Always it should be the same number. The moment when you are creating the BP should have the same number. Your vendor also should have the same number. Okay, so now this is what how the configuration is to be done. Now let me create one vendor master data. Okay, before creation of the vendor master data, coming to the reconciliation accounts. Okay, so now define tolerance groups for the vendor. Now let me define the tolerance groups. Tolerance groups for vendors. What does it mean by the tolerance groups? So the tolerance groups are nothing but a controls. Mapping. Second. Accounts payable, business transaction, clearing, open item clearing, clearing differences. Now define tolerance groups for the customer and supplier. Okay, so now the tolerance groups are nothing but a controls. Okay, then TP01. I'm just giving that. I don't want to give any tolerance. Tolerance groups just controls. What would be the, if you want, what is the permitted difference for the discount? Let's say we are making payment to the vendor 100 rupees. Okay, let's assume in that there is a difference is only we are making 99 rupees. Let's assume. So there is a 1% difference it is there. Whether that difference should get allow or not, we need to do the configuration. If this business will give the inputs for us here. Okay, I just given, but without this system will not allow. Now, the next one define. The next one is a creation of GL accounts. Now, here also, please concentrate here again. The reconciliation accounts. We have discussed about reconciliation accounts. So the reconciliation accounts, again, you can come back and see here. Again, the reconciliation accounts here. Reconciliation GL accounts. Remember, again, the reconciliation GL accounts also, recon account, creation of, I'll put it, creation of reconciliation GL account. Note. Remember, one recon account can map for multiple vendors, or separate recon account, or we can map separate recon account for each vendor group wise. But real time scenario, this will be the real time scenario. Remember again, in real time environment, we can go with this approach. So the real time environment, how this can be done? Now these are the groups I'm having, right? So for these groups, let's say vendor groups. This is the vendor groups. So now these vendor groups, let's say the reconciliation account, right? Recon account. Here. So the reconciliation account, how I am going to define? Let me define the reconciliation account here. So the reconciliation account, which is the first, let me define the sundry creditors. Okay, so let me define the sundry creditors. So now /n FS00. Let's see here, whatever it is available, 100. Let me define, create. This is the balance sheet account and liabilities account, sundry. See, so now logic here, sundry creditors. Yes, sundry creditors for service. I'll define like this. So sundry creditors for service vendors. Control data. See, I mean reconciliation account, since this is the part of reconciliation account, how system should know. If you remember yesterday I mentioned, we must have to select if this GL account is part of your reconciliation account. You can see you must have to select this one is a vendor. For reconciliation account, you cannot select open item management checkbox. System does not allow you. Even you can, if you try to select this also, you can see here. You can see while, okay, let it be. While saving, system will not allow you. For reconciliation account, the group is a G067. G067 is the reconciliation account. Let me try to save this one. You can see here, open item management is not defined for reconciliation accounts. So don't select this one. This will cause the error. I mean, system will not allow you. What I have done here, the GL which I have created reconciliation account for my service vendors. Am I right? This is the recon account. Recon GL accounts. Now, so now either I can give one for one group. See the scenario number 1, reconciliation account. The same I can map all. Or I also mentioned that or I can go here, the same recon account. One second, just getting some call. So here, if you can see here, now this is the group reconciliation account. So here I have already created the group here. Let's assume this is the number what I have created here. So now for individually, I can also create like this. I can also create like this. So each and every vendor group should have the separate number or should have the one number. So, but now approach what we need to follow in real-time environment. This is the approach what we are following. Is it clear, first of all, how to define the groups and all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now let me create a separate individual reconciliation account for each and every group. Let me copy this one. TP01, I'm just copying this one. I'm just changing the description here because rest of the parameters are same. Copy this one, copy this one, foreign raw material suppliers. Because other parameters which I'm copying, right, all are by default copying by the system. No need to do changes, all those. Right now, next coming to next one is a one-time vendor. One-time vendor. Fine. So now we have defined the approach what we are following. This is the approach what we are following. Let me strike through all these things. Okay, I do not want to follow this approach. This approach I am following now. Okay, so now vendor groups which I have created. So now reconciliation accounts I have created, right? Now let me create the vendor master data. Now vendor master data creation, create vendor master data. So before creation of any vendor master data, there is a prerequisite. Okay, see, before creation of vendor master data, we must have to create a BP first. Then we can extend that BP to the required. Okay, then we can extend it to that BP to vendor. I'll put a state because we are discussing concept of vendors. Now let me go to here. Let me enter the transaction code as a business partner. Enter BP. I mean BP, the transaction code. First time, the moment when you are creating, you can see one BP can be created as a person, as an individual, or as an organization, as a group. Remember. So now the moment when you are creating, go with the organization. Okay, let me select this organization. Concentrate here. This is a very, very important one. The moment when you select this organization, here you can see the groups, vendor groups are popping up here. In which group you want to create? You can see here 1001, 1001 external, but something this we are not using, right? This one. What we have created is a service vendors, domestic. These are the groups which are appearing for business partner 100 A, B, C, D, right? We have created here. If you can see here, you can see A, B, C, D. These are our groups. Am I right? So now I need to select the group under which group I want to create my vendor first. Let me select the service BP. Okay. So now let me key the name which I want to create the vendor. Okay. So now let us see the I'll put it Republic of India. Now search term, whatever you want, you can key. Address, okay. Now let's see the now anything because system is copy. For US, it is only the 6 digits that number is a postal code. California, country is US. Post box number, okay, this and all not required. Language, you can select the EN. So now the required information I have keyed here. Now I need to check whether the entered parameters are correct or not. I need to check if there are, I need to know if there are any errors. Now come here, you can see, click on this one, check here. You can see data of business partner is error free. Error free is nothing but there are no errors. Let me create. You can see the what I have mentioned. Initially, the business partner should be created with the business partner new, and it's a general role. What system has been created here? Even I also mentioned the role here. You can see it is a general business partner. This role is a general BP, general business partner. Okay, initially general BP has been created here. You can also see here. Now let me save this one. What number system will consume? What is the number system has consumed here? BP numbers 66 all zeros. I have explained same right here. All 666 all zeros. Now let me go and extend this business partner. Now you can see this business partner is a general business partner because these are all somebody has created by default or appearing, but in real time environment no one will extend this one. Okay, no one will have access to do like this because this is a practice system. That is the reason multiple roles are appearing here, but these are all the somebody has defined according to their own requirement. Don't consider all these. Now let me extend this business partner. You can see the business partner has been created. Now let me extend this business partner as my vendor. Click on change here. Okay, click on change here. Select the appropriate role. FLVN 00 supplier of the VFI vendor. Select this one. Click on yes. Yes. The moment when I select this role, the system is popping up another field here, company code. You can see company code. You can see in which company code you would like to extend this business, this vendor. You can see the moment when I selected here, you can see system also throwing that external number where in which number you want to key this number, because why system is showing this one here. I have selected this as a external here. For 2A 2B, I have selected external number. System is expecting that number to be keyed by manually. Okay, so now let us see this one. Now let me give the company code is a TP01. Enter. See now reconciliation account. If you remember, for each and every vendor group, for service vendors, what is the reconciliation account I have created? This is the reconciliation account for my service vendors. Whatever the vendors which I am creating under this group, I must have to assign this number. Enter the number. Now enter. Now if I want to save this number, system will not allow me, because the reason being that it is the external number range. I have to key that number as a externally. Okay, let me go to the general data overview and control data. payment transaction somewhere here. Authorization group, trading partner number, BP type, payment transaction status, vendor general data. Yeah, here I have to give the, see, vendor number here. System is automatically, it is deriving this number. Externally, system has been considered this one. You can see vendor general data. If I go to company code data, nothing is there here, right? Then let me try to save this one. Required field check. Okay, double invoice checkbox. This I'll explain you about that requirement. What is generated? What number it has been generated here? The system has been generated. This I'll explain. Terms of payment is a separate concept. I'll explain. But now you can see the supplier has a generated the moment for this role FLVN 00. This role, the system has been generated the number, same number. Here you can see my business partner number is same, my supplier number is same. Is it clear for all?
Okay, when we are creating any business partner with reference to FI, that is FLVN 00, so we
Exactly.
cannot make postings if is in scope, right?
No, you cannot post, right? For scope, again FLVN 01. That is the role which you need to assign. You can see supplier for your vendors. Okay, where you need to assign the purchasing organization. This role is to be assigned. Let me select this one.
Okay.
Let me show you. See,
Yeah.
you can see here purchasing organization field enabled here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Without this, we cannot post any related transactions.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, ma'am. No problem. So now the concept what we were discussing is, now you can see the moment when I maintained this role to this particular business partner, system also saying that the role already been maintained here. You can see the maintained, the tag you can see here. You can see the tag. Now if I can go and if I can go and see in the system, this number will be available. So this is how the real-time environment, the vendor and BP integration synchronization will be happen, how the integration to be happen. This is the very, very important one. So now the number, okay, just give me one moment, ma'am. I'll just take some water and I'll come back. 1 second. You can take if you want. Okay, I'm just back now. So now this is how you need to generate the number ranges. Okay, and how we need to create the BPS. So now let's say now this is the business partner. Even you can go and check that the transaction code. I mean that in table level also it will be available, same business partner. So now let us post the vendors. So up to now, if anyone has any further queries, so please let me know.
I'm good.
Okay. So now let me post the vendors now. Let me post the vendor invoice. Now, in order to post the vendor invoice also, there are a number of transaction codes, accounts payable, document entry. You can see FB60 or F-63. Both you can use any one. F-43. Let me check here whether did I created any GL account for services or not. For okay, telephone expenses which I have already created now. So now if I can go here, the vendor will appear here. You can see the same vendor.
Sir, I
Enter.
think we missed posting keys for vendors.
Okay, once yeah, I'll explain here. So the posting keys for vendor, what we are having, it's a 31 is for vendor credit, 25 is vendor debit. Okay, vendor posting keys here. So document types and number ranges. Okay, creation of vendor master data we have done. Document types for vendor. Okay, so now for document types vendor, what we are having, BS7, BS7. For document types vendor is a K, where it is going to start with K. Wherever you can see KZ from K2 to somebody has created this K2, K3, K4. But see KA to KZ, the vendor number ranges which we need to which standard SAP has been provided KA to KZ. So the number ranges which are already defined, again no need to go back, no need to check. Again the next one, the posting keys. Posting keys for the vendor. Posting keys for the vendor is a posting keys for vendor. As I have explained, posting keys are 2-digit numeric keys. Then 31 is a posting key. 31 is a vendor credit. Vendor credit. 25 is the vendor debit. So these are the two. Again, there are n number of posting keys are there, but we need to at least remember the basic things. The basic things we need to remember: vendor debit and vendor credit. Vendor debit and credit. Now, now in first, let me go to the F-43 is the transaction code F-43. You can see here in general the system is popping up is a vendor is a you can see here it is a credit because we are receiving service from the vendor. Vendor is credit, expenses account will be credit here. Sorry, expenses account will be debit. Now enter. Let's say the here is the 40. Telephone expenses. Let us post to the outstanding expenses. Okay, let us post the expenses, whatever it may be. But this one, it is required that past object is to be required. Okay. Vendor invoice. Now, document, simulate, and post it. So the document has been posted. Okay, let's assume. So how to display the document? First of all, there is a document which we have posted, into. Okay. So now the document has been posted in the system. How to display the vendor line item. So the transaction code is a FBL1N. FBL1N is the transaction code. Let me go to FBL1N. Give that vendor number, select the open item, execute here. Vendor line items, you can see vendor line item. Okay, so now the vendor line item which I have posted successfully in the system. Now I want to make the payment. I want to make the payment to this vendor. Am I right? Because telephone expenses, there is a bill. Okay, we have to make telephone operator. We have to make payment to the telephone operator. The amount is a 50,000 USD. I have to make payment. How can I make the payment? So in every business organization, most of the payments will be happen through the online transfer or in the form of check. Okay, so now either it could be in the form of check, in the form of online transfer. What I would require, first let us discuss about the check process. Okay, so now if I want to make payment through check, what I have to do, what I would require is a first bank accounts to be required. Am I right? The bank account to be required. Without bank account, from which bank account we are issuing check to that particular vendor, we don't know, right? So that is the reason, then we must have to create the bank account. Okay, so now before creation of the bank accounts, I would like to open ECC system. Very important one. This is for bank accounting. This is also the interview question. How? Let it be open. What are the changes in between ECC and S4 HANA in bank accounting? The first question they will ask you, in case if you will be, if the person knows that one, what are the changes between ECC and S4 HANA in terms of bank accounting? Because we have discussed about GL, we have discussed about vendor concept. Now we are discussing about the bank accounting. Let it be open. So now here, bank accounting in S4 HANA. It here. Now, okay. So now, first let us discuss about process in ECC, process in S4 HANA. Process in S4 HANA. Even some people will say that bank accounting, right? BAM. Don't confuse that one. Can you explain about the functionality of BAM? BAM stands for bank account management. Bank account management. Okay, BAM stands for bank account management in S4 HANA. Remember. But now there are changes between ECC and S4 HANA. Let me show you side by side so that it will be easy for you to understand. Because these and all, it's important for your interview perspective, even not only for interview perspective, for your working also. Now, let it be open this one. So now let me describe the things here. Process in ECC. So if I want to create the bank account, first what I would require? I would require is a bank key. So the bank key is representing that. The bank key is the key where it is going to representing that one. What is the bank account? Let's say I have my SBI, State Bank of India. Okay. So now the State Bank of India, what is the address of that? What is the address which related to that bank? Let's say the one bank account. Okay. So now the bank key is representing that country. The bank key is representing that country plus bank address. Bank address, it consists of the bank key. So now in ECC system, the bank key is a master data. In ECC, the bank key is a master data. Then the transaction code is to create the bank key is a FI01. So that this is the transaction code in ECC. Second one, what I want is a house bank. House bank is a nothing but a what is the bank account which you are having your bank account. Let's say I have my HDFC bank, I have my SBI, I have ICICI. How many banks does our organization have that accounts? The transaction code, the house bank also in ECC, this is also the master data. Remember, this is also the master data. To create the house bank, the transaction code is a FI12. FI12, the master data. Now, oh, sorry, it's not the master data. Sorry, it is in configuration. Sorry. So the bank, the house bank, sorry. The house bank is a 1 second, ma'am. Hello.
Bhaskar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Bhaskar, good morning, Amrit.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, ma'am. So now coming to the in house bank, okay, in ECC, the house bank is a configuration activity. Is a configuration activity. When I say the configuration, the system was creating the transport request. Remember, everybody should aware master data for. Okay, can I ask the question, ma'am? Except that, except Lalita, can both of you can answer. For master data, how can I move the master data from one system to another system?
Yes, sir.
How?
Through transport TR.
For master data, system will create master data.
Yes, development system.
Development system. That is what
That
in the
is-
beginning session. In the beginning
That is
session also,
client independent. Client
exactly.
independent.
Yeah. So is it going to create master data for I mean for transport for master data?
No, we can't transport. That is client
Exactly.
independent.
Monica, you need to be careful. Okay. All these things are related for your real-time career purpose. Okay. So be aware of this one. I have
Yes, sir.
created master data, right? Customer, I have created multiple GL masters, one vendor master data. Did system created transport?
I don't understand, sir. Exactly. Can you please again ask?
See, let me do one thing. 1 second. What is this? This is master data, right?
Yes, sir.
FS00 is a master GL master data, right?
Mhm.
100. Let me do one thing. Let me create one master data here. I'm asking you the question to you only. It's a balance sheet, a liability. I'm just creating. Let's say now this is a one. So what I'm trying to create one master data, right? GL master data.
Yes, sir.
Now I have created this one. So did system asked anywhere about the transport request here?
No, sir. No.
That is what I said multiple times, right? For master data creation, We don't give any kind of, system will not ask any transport. So if you want to bring this same master data, there are separate ways are there. There will not have any transport request. Remember that one.
Yes, yes, sir. I
Okay.
got it.
Okay, remember. Now, the next one is a bank account. So the bank account creation process in ECC, it is also the configuration. It is also the configuration activity. Remember, in ECC, this is also the configuration activity, the same FI12, the transaction code, what we were using. First of all, is it clear the process of ECC? The process in ECC. Let me show you. Okay, let me create any one bank account in front of you so that it will have clear visibility side by side. I'll create both at a time. Both at a time. This is ECC system. Don't forget. FI01. I want to create the country, bank country. Okay, the bank which I want to create, let's say the JPMC 1. Specify the field bank key with the length. Okay, at least this should be required is a 9 digits key from where it is causing OY17. Let me open. Okay, it is already open. You can see here country field for US. For US, OY17 is the very important transaction code. The moment you can see here bank account number, it should consist of maximum 13 to 6 digits. Okay, checking rule. Maximum length should be, it should have the 13 characters. Okay, so now postal code should be 10. It's a maximum value. Maximum it should be. Now you can see here, from here, the system is going to do the controls. You can see country United States. The moment when bank account number, you can see the bank key. When you are creating the bank key, the system should consist of maximum length. Okay, so now that is what system is trying to say here. Okay, specify the length here. Length, specify the field. Let me create here 0, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now see, now it is accepting this one. Continue. The field key length should be specified 9 digit. Okay. Okay, see now 9 characters. The moment when I entered the 9 characters, system is allowing me. You can see the bank number length. You can see this is what, from where the system is controlling length to be kept for the extensive number numerical with 9 characters. Until and unless if it does not have 9 characters, system is not allowing. This is what the control, right? So now bank name, let's say the JPMC bank. Let's say the reason. Let's give any reason which you can select anything. Okay, let me select the street is a bank street, city is a, that's me, branch is a, then Swift code. If you want, you can also map the Swift code. Okay, just for your information, save it. So the transaction code is a FI01, right? Now let me come back. Let me do the similar way in FI01. Sorry. Country is a US. The number what I have created here. Let me display this one. This is the one, right? US 0012 JPMC. Somewhere I have given, right? Bank key. 020 JPMs. FICO code standard. It is created. Did I saved this one or not? I've already saved this one, but not sure why it is not up. Bank key. Let's see now. 99, it is appearing. External payment, JPMC Bank, something. JPMC Street, New York, New York. The same I have given. New York, Alaska, I have given. Texas. Don't know where it is stored. Okay, let me create again. Once again, let me do one thing. And create new one. Sorry, FI01. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Length. Okay, so now let me create bank name. Okay. BYA, okay.
సార్ మీరు ఆల్రెడీ ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేశారు కదా సార్?
That is not getting, so that is the reason I'm just trying to create a new one. Alaska, Florence. Yeah, let me copy this one. See, the data is created. Now let me display this one. Now it is available. Okay, fine. That's fine. No problem. Bank number. So now let me create the same number in S4 HANA also. Where I am checking.
S4 HANA you have created, sir.
One second. Okay. I was checking in. Oh, okay. Already created, right? Okay. I was created in ECC, but checking in S4 HANA. Oh, sorry, wrong. One second. Let me create this one. Okay, with the same number. Bank KVS does not exist. Okay, create. Let me go to create. Sorry, my mistake only. Okay. JPMC region AK. Yes, got it. Okay, it was my mistake only. So now I have created the bank key in both the systems. I have created. Now let me create the bank house bank. Okay, FI12 is the transaction code which I want to create. Company code is a TP01. So TP01, it is not there. I'll take any one. I'll take any one of the company code. I'll take any one of the company code. Okay. UAE, US dollars. Okay, I guess I'll take this one. Any one company code. So now bank key. Let me change this AUD. Again, it will create the second. So Australian dollars. USD, right? Let me take this one, US dollars. So now click on new entries. What is the house bank? Let me give the JPMC. Okay, so now JPMC, see current account, US. So now what is the key which we have created is US for JPMC, right? This is the one, the bank key which we have created. Now you can see the moment when I entered here, the address details which are deriving by the system automatically from the bank key itself. So now let me save this one. You can see here in ECC system, this is the configuration activity. I have mentioned the same. Now coming to S4 HANA, S4 HANA also. Okay, so now the bank key is a master data. I'll put it the same thing here also. But now it's a master data. The transaction, this is the same FI01, FI01, FI01. Then this one is okay. It's already copied, right? Okay, fine, no problem. So now, second. So now it's the FI12, right? Now the transaction code is the same in ECC also. Okay, so now let me go to FI12 is the transaction code. Let me go to company code TP01 house bank. Click on new entries. JPMCC. Okay. Now country is US. Let me select this bank key. JPMCC, right? This is the one. Enter. Even this is also the configuration activity in S4 HANA. Now let me create the bank account. Okay. So now in order to create the bank account, click on the bank account. Now I'm in ECC. You can see now I'm in ECC system. Click on the bank account, new entries. Let's say the JPMCC, whatever JPMCD. Okay, I'll give this one. JPMC cash deposit account. Cash deposit account. Bank account number, the number which bank has been provided to you. What is the number which bank had provided to you? Okay, let's say that one. So this is the number. The bank, every individual or everyone, the bank will provide this number where it is available in your checks. If you log in into internet banking also, this is the number. Currency, in which currency you want to post this, you want to use this account. Enter. Now the moment when I have created here, I must have to assign the GL account. What is the GL account which I have to assign here? The GL account, again here there is a topic which we need to discuss. Now let me go and assign here any one of the GL account, any one of the GL account. Let me search here for bank. So let me assign any one of the GL account. Okay, now this is the GL account which I have assigned here. So what is the GL account of this one? You can please concentrate here. See, again the data is saved successfully. Again, the data is been saved here. Okay, so now this is also the configuration activity where consultants were able to do in ECC system. Okay, in ECC system, again, this is also consulting activity. But now coming to S4 HANA, I'll put it here. It's not in ECC. The S4 HANA. Now, in S4 HANA, this is not the configuration activity. This is the master data. This is not a configuration activity. It is a master data. So now even you cannot create FI12 transaction code. This transaction code is not available in, it is available, but you cannot create the bank accounts. Let me go here. I have created house bank, right? Come here, bank accounts. You can see here, read access only, meaning that we do not have access to create bank account. You can see, even if you try to click here also, it will redirect to your web application. You can see here, it is redirecting to the web application. You can see, but anyhow, this is not working. Internet Explorer for to log in that Fury apps. But what is the transaction code? We do not have any transaction code here in S4HANA system. But there was a transaction code, NWBC. In that NWBC, we were able to creating in older versions like 1610, 1709. But now in latest version, everybody is using the manage bank accounts Fury app for bank accounts creation. Bank accounts create. We need to use this is the transaction code. Manage bank accounts is the Fury app. We must have to use this one. Let me open this one. Fury app. Yes, 22. 21. So now let it be open this one. Let it be open. Okay. Okay. So now let it be open. Before going to that to open bank GL accounts.
Yeah, before that, would you mind keeping about OY17 in the notes?
I'll keep it, ma'am. I'll keep
Yeah,
it that one.
yeah, thank you.
Because this is a universal one, OY17. I just mentioned this one. It's a country level. This is a country level configuration. So now coming to the GL accounts, there are a lot of changes. GL accounts mapping, GL accounts, okay. GL accounts, okay, mapping process in ECC. This is also very important one. Now GL accounts mapping process in S4HANA. Okay, I'll put it in for, sorry, I just put it bank accounts, bank GL accounts, so that we will have the bank GL accounts mapping process in S4HANA in ECC system. So now let's assume my requirement would be, okay, okay, if it is open, let me create, okay, it is open. Now let me create the bank account. So as I mentioned, manage bank accounts is the Fury app. Just taking my time. Okay, so now manage bank accounts. This is a Fury app where we need to use to create the bank accounts in S4HANA system. Let it be open. See, again, let me show you the important things for the bank account management. In the configuration, first let me create. Okay, these are the these are the fields which are appear. If you want, you can just adapt filter. Then you can also select multiple fields. Those will be pop up here. Now let's say I want to create the bank account. Come back here and create here. Create bank account. So company code. Let me give the TP01. The bank account type. You can see if I go here, there are n number of bank account types. At least here I could see 10. From where these are appearing, we should know, right? Each and everything we should know in and out. Now let me come back. Now the bank account management, it is part of the cash and liquidity management under financial supply chain management, cash and liquidity management. Under cash and liquidity management, bank account management, basic settings, I will show you. First, general settings. You can see here, basic settings is a very, very important one. In case sometimes I will show you practically here, the cash scope, the cash management scope, whether it has been activated full scope or half scope. I mean, it's a basic scope. If you activate the basic scope, let me give anyone. Let me give here. Let me show you that practically here. Company code TP01. Sorry, I think I have given the small p. TP01. See now it's a 02. Now it is allowing. Let me show you practically here. This is also you should aware. The difference between basic scope and full scope. Here you can see the moment when I want to create a bank account, header, control data, bank relationship, house bank account connectivity, payment approver, overdraft, multi-language, cash pool. These are the options are appearing the moment when I have activated the full scope here. You can see here. Now let me activate the basic scope. The moment when I activate the basic scope, these checkboxes will not allowed. Remember, let me show you. Okay, but don't change for your practice purpose. Also save it. I'm just saving this one. Let's see what will happen. I'm just discarding these changes. Now let me try to create now again the same pitch. Okay, TP01, 02, create here. Sorry, again the small. TP01. Create. You can see here header data, general data, bank relationship, house bank account connectivity, multi-language description. But what about the cash pool option? There are other options which are not appearing here. So that is the reason you can also check if there are any fields which are not available here. This is the reason. Okay, full scope. Then full scope is been activated again here. Now coming to the, you can see here bank account control mode. This control mode, which is going to represent that while creation of the bank account or while changes, whatever it may be, whether would you like to activate direct changes in the sense directly I'll come back and I'll create the bank account. Okay, let's say I'll come back directly, I'll create the bank account, I will save it. But now if I activate in place of this one, dual control workflow 2% verification, its system will trigger the workflow. Again, the workflow, there is a separate configuration. It is required because multiple teams to be involved here, because in order to activate the workflow and all. So at this moment, I'm just direct changes only. Okay, I do not want to trigger any workflow. Now come back. That is the basic configuration for the bank accounting. TP01. Now 02. Again, here, right, I was showing that this account type, right, from where that account types are coming. Let me show you. Come back here. Define number ranges. Define relationship. Maintain event types. Define settings for bank account type. Define settings for bank account master data. This one. Now, if you come here, you can see here. From here, all the your bank account types which are appearing over there. But you need to map if you want to any additional thing, you can also create new things here, just for your information. Click on create. Let's say the account description. JPMC cash deposit account number. Same I have given, right? Now country is the US. What is the bank key which you want to key, right? JPMC. This is the one, right? JOMC I have given, but I'll change that one. Currency is a USD currency. IBAN number does not required. Now come to bank account connectivity path. Here we need to create the house bank here. I mean, we need to assign the bank ID here. Bank account ID here. House bank will appear automatically. You can see house bank is appearing automatically. JPMC, JPMCD. Okay. Let me give here. Okay, only 4. Okay, it is selecting. Now you can see the GL account which I need to map here. Now let me select the bank account. See here, this is the bank account. This is the bank account which I need to assign here. I have created save as inactive. You can see save as inactive. The moment when I create the new bank account, close. Let me show you that account status. The account status you could see here is an inactive state. The moment when we create, it is in inactive state. So the moment when we create that bank account, it is in inactive state. Now I need to activate this account, then only I can use this account. Let me select this, activate this account. Now the account has been activated. You can see the account status, it is in active state here. Now, what I have done, I have created the bank account here. Now we have seen the difference between. Now let's see in TP01, right? Under this company code, whether that bank account is exist or not. You can see here, this is the bank account which I have created. It is in active state. Now we need to talk about in the bank accounting, the GL accounts. We need to talk about GL account creation process. Right? For GL accounts creation, completely as compare with the ECC system from 2020 onwards. S4 HANA SAP has been introduced. Account type is a cash account type. You can see this is the account type they have introduced. This cash account type is in S4 HANA system from 2020 onwards. Before that 1909, 1809, 1709, you cannot see this option, cash account option. So what are the advantages? Why SAP has introduced this concept? We will discuss about in detail. Okay, so now let's say the cash account. What does it mean by the cash account? So why they have introduced? There should be some reason behind that. Without that, there is no. I mean, without knowing that concept, it's not the fruitful for us. So now let's say that is what I mentioned here. Bank GL accounts mapping process in ECC, bank GL accounts mapping process in S4 HANA system. Now let's say if I want to create the bank accounts in ECC system, let's say I have the multiple banks. Let's say that I have the SBI bank, I have the HDFC bank, I have the ING bank. So these are the three banks which I am having in my business organization. Let's say for my client, these are the three bank accounts which I am having. Here also the same accounts. Okay, so just we would like to discuss about ECC and S4 HANA. So now here, let's say now if I want to do the configuration in ECC system for SBI account, let's say the SBI bank accounts, bank account setup. If I want to set up SBI bank account in ECC system, what I would require, always I would require is a GL account for main bank, then GL account for outgoing payments, GL account for incoming payments. Once yeah, sorry, I got a call from office. Okay, no problem. So now if I want to create the bank GL accounts for each bank account, how I was creating is GL account for main bank. I was creating like SBI. I just updated GL account for SBI. Okay, main bank account. GL account for SBI outgoing. GL account for State Bank of India. So now let's say the logic how we were defining. Let's say since it was a balance sheet 200 100 where the ending digit, because even in current system also the ending digit should be 0, that always we should consider as a main bank account. Okay, 200 101, let's assume. So these are the GL accounts. What I am creating here is that these are the GL accounts. Let's say the GL account for the last one, GL account for bank expenses. Expenses is only one universal account which I can use for all banks, the same account. But now here in ECC system, GL accounts for main bank account here, SBI. So for all this set of accounts, this is optional. Okay, this is the optional. I'll remove this one. But now at least for one bank account in ECC system, what we were doing, we must have to define at least 3 bank accounts. One is for incoming, one is for outgoing, one is for main bank account. This is the setup for ECC system. Again, let's say if I want to define for HDFC bank account setup. Again, if I want to define HDFC, again I need to create the new accounts. Again, I need to create the new account, new set of accounts for HDFC. Wherever I can see this, let's say here is the HDFC. So now here also I can view HDFC. Here also HDFC. So the bank account, this is a quite common. So now let's say again I have to create, but the number I'll change. I must have to create the separate one. Here let me create the number, sorry, 0. Here also I'll give the 001. Here also I'll give the 0. So every bank, if I want to create in ECC system, I have to create separate set of bank GL accounts. At least 3 bank accounts should be required. So this main bank account balance is always equal to your bank account balance. If you check what is your current bank balance, your bank balance is always, it should be equal to this is the GL. It should be equal to your bank balance. In case if there is any misplace, there is some reconciliation which was not happened properly. We need to do the investigation. Again, for outgoing payments, all outgoing payments should be carried through this GL account. Again, for incoming payments, all should be initially it should be triggered to this GL account. Okay. So now I will explain you in detail how the accounting entries takes place, because it's a very important one for your interview perspective and for your real time also. So now this is how we were creating in ECC system. But now in S4 HANA, the concept has been introduced with the cash account. The moment when they introduced the concept cash account, the moment when I am selecting this one, you can see there are 3 account types which are going to display here. So now bank reconciliation account, if account type, if I select B, this always we need to understand this is the main bank account. So what is my main bank account? This is equal to my main bank account. So now, and again the next one is a B. B is a sub account here. Sub accounts are, these two are the sub accounts. This is the main bank account. These are the sub accounts. So now I must have to use the relationship. I must have to build the relationship here itself. You can see the moment when I create the bank sub account, see outgoing clearing account, I must map the what is the main bank account for this sub account? What is this is my sub account, for this sub account, this is my main bank account. I must have to map the relationship here itself while creation GL account itself. But this concept, which is not at all there in ECC system. As I have mentioned here, you can see here, you can see here only the account type which you are having, balance sheet and P&L account. You don't have any additional accounts. You don't have any additional account group here. You can see account group, you have only balance sheet and P&L. But you can see the same account group you can see here, but account types you can see n number of types. What I said, balance sheet, P&L account. But here you can see additional group. For that is the reason I have configured separate number range for all my cash accounts. So the moment when this will come into picture, when we need to map the relationship between main bank account to sub bank account, and also one more change we need to understand while clearing, the moment when we are clearing for vendor, customer, and for even for GL also, bank data, you can see this field was not there. Now I am in F-53 screen, right? In F-53, I could see the additional fields, house bank and bank account, bank ID, account ID information. If I see the same transaction code, F-53, sorry, F-53, you can see here only the bank data, only the GL account I was able to give here. But now even in S4HANA, apart from the bank amount here, apart from the account, I must have to give these two information. If I give these two information, system automatically, it will fetch the account data. No need to key. Let's see this one. Just practically, let's see account which I have already created, right? Let's see how system is going to pick up that one. I'll give the amount is a 1 rupee. I don't know at this moment, right? Let me select just to see that one only. Nothing. I don't want to do anything. You can see here, system automatically it is fetching this account. You can see here, the account file derived from the house bank. You can see. So, but this concept was not available in ECC system. But now, apart from this, how to design the bank accounts in S4 HANA system? I'll complete quickly this one. So now to create the bank accounts or to set up the bank accounts in S4 HANA system. See now, one universal bank. This is the bank account. Let's say the 500150002. This is the quite common. So now let's say the SBI, right? For SBI, how I am going to, sorry, HDFC. So for HDFC, I'm going to map. You can see here how the mapping is to be done. Now, always my main bank account, it will be same here and here. First condition number 1. But again, you can also define as per your ECC. Okay, but again, this is optional for you. Always my main bank account will be same. Here I can define 10 is my main bank account. Sorry, 11. Okay, sorry, 11. Where it is ending with 12 is my sub account. Only this you can define. Okay, you can define the clearing accounts only. You can define the new. You can define new bank accounts. But for always your main bank account, you can keep it the same one. But clearing accounts, if you want, you can define the new accounts. So in ECC system, if I want to create the bank account, I have to key the currency. But in S4 HANA system, there is no option to key the currency. Okay, let me show you that one. If I want to create any bank account, let me show you. I think I have already created the bank accounts. Recently, I have created, okay, 6809, right? Two series. Let me show you here. Bank for main bank account. You can see here. For main bank account, here I must have to specify. I mean, there is an option to key the currency and open item management also. I was able to selecting. But now in S4HANA, this currency and open item management option is not applicable for your bank account, for your bank GL account. Let me show you here. See, there is no option to enter the currency. There is no option to enter, there is no option to select your open item management. These are the few changes in S4HANA system for bank accounting. Is it clear, first of all, I mean, how the bank GL accounts to be created in S4HANA system, and what are the changes ECC and S4HANA about the bank accounting?
Sir, little bit confusion, but again, we want to see the recording.
Yeah,
Practice. After that,
you
will
can
ask
do
the questions.
practice.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can do practice so that you will get hands-on experience. Then only it will be easy for you to understand.
అప్పుడు డౌట్స్ వస్తే సార్ అడుగుతాం సార్. ఇప్పుడైతే కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ గానే ఉంది బ్యాంక్ అకౌంటింగ్.
Exactly.